Welcome to the UpStreamLife.com. I'm Vishal Krishna, the founder and editor. As usual, we bring you inspiring companies that have made impact, social impact, and India needs social impact for profit. And one such company is PotholeRaja. I have the co-founder with me. Saurabh, how are you?
Hi Vishal, lovely to be here.
Can you tell me what PotholeRaja is? That's the question I'm going to ask you quickly.
The PotholeRaja is a social enterprise. I would say slash the social enterprise and make it impact enterprise. So we are here to create impact. We are into construction of roads from recycled plastic waste, 100% recycled plastic waste. We are also into making model roads. We transform public spaces. We make model junctions, and we are on a mission to make our world pothole free.
So that's what you're going to hear. You're going to basically hear how you can bloody take care of your roads.
Yes.
Right? And that's all I'm going to say. Better roads means we get to work on time. And we're going to add better taxes to the government. And we're going to make sure that the GDP goes up. Right?
Yes,
okay,
indeed.
By the way, this interview is brought to you by Finverse. Finverse obviously is a financial reskilling, upskilling platform. If you're a student interested in learning finance, get to Finverse, download that app on Play Store, of course, and make sure that you upskill yourself. You can be an artist, you can be a singer, but you need to know your finances, and Finverse is going to help you do that. And if you're a BCom student, don't even ask, go upskill yourself right now. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy this interview. Saurabh, real pleasure to have you on the show. For me, when I think of potholes, I think of so many indignities that happen in the country. I think of indignity of labor, there's accidents, and generally when India is growing and you see these potholes that are open, you think, where are we? Are we really developed, right? But we are a developing country, or developed rather in many cases. And that's where PotholeRaja comes in. And you guys have created so much impact. There's a lot of fans everywhere. So how did this story begin? I know you graduated in 2014-15 out of Tumkur. Why get into this when you could have been an engineer, earned a lot of money? Why do this?
That's the same question my parents keep asking me.
Even today?
Even today.
After 8 years.
After 8 years also. So, it goes back to when I graduated in 2014. After that, I had a good, comfortable IT job, like all ambitious Indians. That while you're there in Bangalore, you have a career wherein IT is there, and then the so-called MBAs also start coming into your lifestyle and career. So I was having that, and I was actually enjoying that part as well. Because right from my school days, coding is something that really used to interest me, and I was pretty decent in that. I wouldn't say very, very good, extraordinary, but I loved that.
So you took electronics, but you like coding.
Yeah. So electronics, and even in electronics also there is a part of coding involved in that as well. So my orientation was not really into hardcore, the PCBs and all those things, but my heart was in coding. So then after my college, I came to HP, spent almost 2 years. Is when this idea hit. Not actually an idea, but this thought process came into my mind when I read a newspaper article which said about a pothole accident which had taken somebody's life, and I felt helpless.
I think
personally.
Somebody else was blamed. It was not his fault, but
not his fault, but somebody else was blamed, and it was written. So I started thinking that okay, this is not how I would want to spend my life. That if I know there is a problem and still I am not able to do something about it. So where are things going wrong, and how is it going wrong? Though when we see a civic problem, we say, "Yaar, ye meri responsibility to hai nahi."
Yeah, we all brush it off. We want to do something, but we don't know how.
We don't know how. That's a bigger question. And
unless you know the BBMP guys closely, you don't really bother.
Yeah, of course. And when the systems and processes are set, like if you, for example, in today's world, right? I'm really proud to say that when we see Indore as a city, over there, I've heard stories wherein if you throw garbage, people will actually come and stop you, saying that you are not supposed to throw garbage over here.
Yeah, it is voted the cleanest city.
Yeah, voted. Because it's now in that zone wherein people are also accountable, they're responsible, they feel that this is my city, I want to,
So you wanted to feel accountable.
Yeah.
That's how it began.
So over there I wanted to, not personal gratification, but I was more concerned about the accident that are happening, and I also was, having a two-wheeler. My friends were having a, two-wheelers. I was like, okay, this can happen to any of my friends. This can be me. I might end up in a hospital calling my friends, hey, you know what, I broke my leg. And unfortunately, it can be fatal as well.
Yeah.
So that's what, was the thought process when I started first thinking about it. Not the actual work, by the way. This is the thought process that, okay, this is a problem. and I need to find a solution to that. How? Complete blank, no idea at all, because as you said, engineering from EEE background, working in coding, so how the road is built, how the road is repaired, I had zero answer.
You're not a civil guy. Yeah.
Not a civil guy. So that's how my journey started. But when I started, my partner Dr. Pratap, right, he had already started PotHoleRaja and also comes from a very interesting background.
So, but he's not a civil engineer himself.
He's
right?
also
he's a fighter pilot.
He was a fighter pilot in the Air Force, and after a crash, he had to move out of Air Force. Worked in corporate for almost 11 years. When he decided in 2011 to move out from the corporate and start his entrepreneurial journey, he was at that point of time serving as a global vice president of the company. Okay. So his parents also asked that why are you even leaving a well-paying job? You can probably buy a house anywhere across the world and live a comfortable.
Yeah, people watching this if people are watching this globally and they don't realize that Potholes has a lot of let me say that it has a lot of ancient connections. Although it's left to manual scavenging, cleaning, right? It is slightly based on the political order of the older days.
Yeah.
And suddenly you have this government, all modern governments who are also brushing it off, right? Because I don't know, it's something that we always give it a miss, right? I mean, we were talking in the morning, why are they not shaped correctly?
Yeah.
Why are the roads at a level and potholes are not at a level? These kind of questions crop up. Now, obviously, parents would be thinking, why do you want to go fix potholes in a country which is growing, right? So there is parental problem on your side. There's obviously friends who think that, why this
guy is going crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Why would somebody do potholes? And the company is also called PotholeRaja. People may think you're taking a dig at somebody or making fun of somebody. But true, 8 years has been a super journey for you. You're doing very well. So when you chose this and you started doing this, Pratap and you, how tough was it? I mean, how did you start off? You started off an NGO model?
So when it started off, the model was more about getting the data from the citizen, because see, when we started, right, when in fact Pratap started, the initial thought process was that when we see anything around us, the first thing, as you said, we want to brush it off, saying that मेरी responsibility नहीं है, let me just get rid of this. But a lot of people want to actually do something about it, but they don't know how.
Yes.
So the first thought process was, let us collect the data that where you see pothole on a daily basis. Right, so we created a platform. We had a very cool WhatsApp number called 814 pothole. So after 814, if you dial in your T9 dictionary pothole, so P is 7, O is 6, T is 8. So it's easy to remember. I said, okay, pehle, you send us pictures, GPS location, so we at least should know where the problem exists, where are accidents happening. When we got the data, we were like, okay, now the data is there. People want us to fix it. If we don't close the loop, then we will be under question. Another company who said, do this, we invested our time and the result is zero. So we right from the beginning had the mindset of going and fixing them as well.
So people send you something, you go fix it.
Yeah. So when we were fixing it, we were also updating citizens saying that, hey, you know what, we are a social enterprise. When we are out there in the public, because first we had to also build credibility. So we were showing, initially a lot of money went from, because friends and family were supporting. So some money was donated by somebody. That's how the model started. When we went, fixed the pothole, people were surprised, saying that, okay, we never knew the process is so simple. We would want to come. We would also want to come and volunteer as well. That's how the journey started. But right from the beginning, as the model would build, and we were actually not only oriented towards just fixing few potholes. We wanted to take this impact on the larger scale to the entire country. And that cannot happen only via donations.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, my first question is, how would you, fixing a pothole, but then the local municipal corporations come and say, how can you fix something that we have to fix? That would be my first question. Then it would be people, are these guys for real? Whose money are they taking and fixing it? Why?
Yeah.
Right? And that's how you attracted volunteers also, that anybody can participate. So can you tell me this color, please? How did you manage government, municipal corporations? How did you manage citizens really saying, hey, we can now be accountable for this?
So, see, when we go out and solve any civic problem, right? As you rightly said, the question is very real. That can we do it, can we not do it? If we want to do it, who should we contact? Let's say we want to clean up a place. Can we just go out and clean up, or do we have to really take approval? So there are a lot of questions which were unanswered, and that's a myth that we also wanted to break. So when we were reading about what are the things as citizens can we do, or what are the things we cannot do, That's where we said ki if let's say it's a small little pothole, we are not breaking it, we can actually go and just fix it up. But we have to also ensure that the product that we are using is right. It can't just we someday we wake up and saying that वहाँ पे मिट्टी डाल दिया. When the rain comes, because you have to understand that when we are doing this, the intention is right. We are trying to save somebody's life, but as it rains, that mud will actually spread across the road, might cause more trouble. So, and now when we are doing as an organization, we also have to see the product that we are choosing is the right product to fix it. And that's where when we also, now when we work, work very closely with the municipality, whenever we do any project, we have a written approval saying that this is what we are doing as a part of our
and they're okay with it.
Yeah, because see, if you understand philanthropic work, right, where do you do? You can't do philanthropy in your own family.
Yeah.
That's your responsibility. If you're running a company, you can't do philanthropy for your people. That's your responsibility. Philanthropy or social development work is always done beyond the boundaries that you have, right? And when you go beyond your boundaries, that's primary a space. If you see logically, it's the government property. So any social development work will happen at the government land, whether it is a government school, whether it's let's say a public toilet. Everything is a government responsibility. So a lot of people have actually asked us, that how is that you are doing this, somebody's responsibility. But we as as the culture we have, Indians, we have always been helping other mode wala thing has always been there,
yes.
Right? And that's where you see most of the work that is done in education is government school. The question can always come, why are you doing government school? Isn't it the responsibility?
Yeah. Teachers get asked, so why are you teaching?
Yeah, teachers get also paid and all. But the thing is, it is beyond that. We have to understand that this is not, we are questioning the government, we are not raising voice against them. What we are also trying to do is we are building something in parallel, in collaboration with them.
So you're complementary to that?
Yes, we have to be complementary. See, if we want to live in a society wherein we see problems and we also have solution, it has to be complementary. It cannot be that I am more, I'm better than you.
That can't be the answer with
them. It cannot be.
And I mean, how long did it take you to break that mode with them?
See, initially, because the product was new, while we fixed, just to let you know, the way we fix pothole is a cold process. So what we see in the road construction process, that's not how the pothole is fixed. It's hardly takes 10 minutes.
So it's a different mechanism.
Totally. It's a completely different mechanism.
So it can't be treated as, because most of the potholes are on the road.
Yeah.
So they use the road bituminous mixture for the pothole.
Yeah.
So that's not the way.
It's the same, but it's not heated product. It's manufactured in cold process, so we don't have a lot of emission happening. So if I talk about the greenhouse emission, we cut down that by 80% while we use this product. The beauty of this is it works all weather. Even during rain or if the roads are in wet condition, the potholes can still be fixed. The biggest advantage is you don't actually have to apply a lot of brain.
Okay.
Because, and I keep saying that. See,
I thought as an engineering, civil engineer would come in.
That's what we are trying to break that. Okay. That if let's say small little issue, it's not road construction. It is just small little pothole that needs to be fixed. And I'll take a reference of.
Please give us a color, because most of us would think that it's part of a municipal problem. When there's a road being laid, that's when you fix a pothole. Or when there's a leakage or seepage, that's when you fix it.
No, not really. So let's say okay, let me try to make you understand the most simplest way. You don't know how to cook. Just imagine. Even if you know, just for the time being, you don't know how to cook. You don't know how to cook, but you know how a Maggi noodle is being made, right? Because you don't have to apply really a lot of brain. They say it's a boil water, put the noodle, put the the masala.
Correct.
In 2 minutes, of course, it is not done, but in 5 minutes, you do get something which is completely in a edible form. You can eat it, you can and then you can also boast about it that now I'm a cook.
You can.
Yeah. But if you see, you did not really needed to have cooking skills. Now apply the same concept in fixing pothole. Exactly the same. The mix that we have, it comes in a 25 kg bag.
So you said get a ready mix.
Yeah, it's a ready mix, right? You see a pothole, clean it up, put the mix, spread it evenly, ensure that the entire periphery is completely sealed. Do hand compaction. If you don't have anything, allow the traffic to pass. It settles. The pothole is done.
That's it. So anybody can do it. Any citizen
anybody can do it. We have had volunteer. The youngest volunteer we had 2 years of old, and the oldest that we have had is 80 years.
So 80 years and what? 12 years you said? Two. A 2-year-old volunteer. A kid. Oh,
they
to
came,
come and work with the family, of
so
course.
they actually had entire family coming in from Electronic City saying that there's a big pothole over there and we would like to participate and we would like to also,
So you get a ready mix. What do you get in the package? Say
it's a ready mix bag, and we have few tools like you have a cleaning brush,
Okay.
and then we have a spreading tool, and all these things, by the way,
You can fix seepages also?
no, not seepage. So people always confuse between a pothole and a manhole.
Okay.
So manhole is something wherein the sewage lines are going.
Correct.
When you would have seen in the
large
news,
ones,
large ones, and then during
but
the
they're
rain.
open also. They're dangerous too.
They're open, but that's a concept which is very different.
Okay.
Right over there, you have the lid, which is the problem. That's not
the lid's the problem.
Yeah, so that is not
you
something.
Fix them too?
No, we don't fix that. So we largely focus on the pothole, which is only on the road. So that's where it is different.
Because the roads are always broken.
I mean,
most of the time.
Most of the time.
I mean, we'll not get into those reasons. So, but what do you do when there's a pothole on the road and the manhole on the road? What if both are damaged? Do you fix both?
See, most of the time, if it's a manhole cover, right, then we'll have to inform the authorities and get that, because that cover also is not just like any other cover.
Yeah, because you're saying you want to avoid road accidents.
Yeah.
Most of the reason you're doing this is because India ranks the highest in terms of accidents, right? And you want both to be fixed. So you inform them. When you fix the pothole, do you also say go fix the manhole?
We inform the authorities about it because they have over here. If I take example of the Bangalore city, the BWSSB, they will have the covers in stock always, right? So all they have to do is they'll have to have their people coming in and replacing the lid.
Okay.
So reaching out
and
to the
they're okay with that.
Yeah, that's completely fine. They are completely okay with that. They're very prompt in taking that actively. Within no time they'll be there and doing that.
How many potholes have you fixed in the last 8 years?
We have crossed more than 35,000 as of now across 30 cities.
Okay.
Largely, of course, we're based out of Bangalore, so large chunk of this is in Bangalore, but we're doing large scale projects like we've recently tied up with Tata Steel in Jamshedpur, so we've maintained the entire city. So a lot of different things that we keep doing, not just connected to potholes.
Got it. Sourabh, you talked about accountability of government and municipal organizations. I'm glad you said that there's more partnership than a resistance, which is something that you've cracked, and I'm glad you've done 35,000 potholes as of now. 8 years has been a wonderful journey. Again, I'm saying wonderful because you're now a platform. You're a bridge between private citizens and obviously the potholes that they can fix on their own. It's a do-it-yourself kind of a thing. You've laid that out. Governments can partner with you. Private individuals can come and invest with you. Get tax benefits or not, but they can still, you're a trust in a way. You're a trust and a private company. And I want you to talk about the business model. Most of them, when they see PotholeRaja, and they may think, oh, maybe they're an NGO, right? So how do you balance? But you're also a business. You've done very well. Upwards of more, I think you've crossed 2 million, you're going to cross more, and you've got a journey towards 100 crores of revenues. I want you to lay out what the business model is. They're a serious business. If people are listening to this, they're not a charity organization. So tell me about the business.
True. So see, when we started, and in fact, even now, because the impact that we are creating, people do think that we are only an NGO. But since we've started, our orientation was to create a social enterprise. Now, you need to understand, when you as an organization are not earning revenue on your own, then the impact that you want to create wouldn't last for a very long time, because you also need to have a team, you need to have a platform, you need to have a model wherein you can sustain yourself, right? So that is where people go wrong, that they think that, okay, this is only the way they've been working, let's say 1-2 potholes, but that's not true. Like, for example, when we started, we had a clear mindset of where will the revenue come from, because while we are focused on fixing the roads, public roads, if let's say there is somebody who's reporting and there are a lot of accidents happening, we know that if we don't address it, many more people will meet with an accident, and we don't have revenue, we don't have donations or funds coming in either from CSR or private individuals and citizens or maybe any HNI, but we still have to go out and fix it. How do we do that? So we created a model wherein our own company can fund for that. But for that, I need to earn revenue from somewhere. And that is where the model was to start giving our services to the private players. Now, who are the private players? For example, any toll road, right? It is the property of the government, but maintained by the toll company.
Private company.
And they collect tolls, they maintain it. So they don't want any road issues. We tie up with them and we maintain their roads. We used to maintain. If you know about Electronicity Township Authority
in Bangalore.
In Bangalore. So over there it's a township. So they maintain the entire electronicity, which is almost a road network of 21 kilometers. So right from the footpath to roads to lights to all the things that you can imagine. So they said, we want to partner with you and we want to have our roads maintained by you. So that's the revenue directly coming in to our private limited firm. While we have to address any, let's say, a public issue which is creating a lot of problem, we can always push money from our private limited and get it done. Fortunately, in the last 8 years, we have been blessed with the kind of support that we have gotten from the public and the companies that we have partnered with. We have not had to put our money from here, but we always had created that. Now that has become very big as of now, right? In the last 8 years, it's not just few small little layouts that we have maintained. We've also signed up with the likes of, as I was telling, Tata Steel in Jamshedpur, wherein we will be maintaining almost 650 kilometers of road for the entire city. Any report that comes, there'll be a turnaround time of 96 hours to 120 hours. And we've also partnered with a company wherein we have introduced automated machine to fix potholes. So no longer just the bag based, because that's a large scale work. So we also have upgraded ourselves over the past 8 years. We have now gotten into construction of roads as well. So when we went deeper into that, we realized that the technology needs to be upgraded in terms of road construction. See, if we are solving a problem, when we get deep into that, the question will come, right? That why potholes are happening?
Yes, so you rather fix the whole road also.
So is there something that we can add value? And that's where we realize, if let's say plastic waste is becoming another big challenge for the entire world, how do we integrate that into the road construction process as well? And that is where we innovated our current product, which is GridMat, and we are also getting into construction of roads. So every now and then we get calls from the layout developers, residential builders. We have demonstrated our solution in Adani Airport in Ahmedabad. We have gone to Hyderabad. Our projects are running in Coimbatore, in Mumbai, in Goa, in Kerala. And these all are privately held either factories or layouts, wherein they are also intending to build roads. They're intending to build their, parking spaces. So that's how the revenue and that's how the business model, we have built over a period of time.
Why choose plastic? Just curious, because I know this plastic technology, converting recycled plastic to tar, sort of a tar kind of a substance to lay on the road, has been going around for 2 decades. There are people who like it, people who don't like it. It's based on the science. They say that it's not durable. They say it's really not going to help roads in a way. There are reasons. I am not privy to that because I don't want to get into the science of it. But why choose plastic is a question that I want.
See, what you are saying, Vishal, that technology has been existing, wherein the plastic is shredded and mixed with bitumen.
Absolutely. Bitumen is the right chemical word that you've used. Yes.
But what we have done is, and in fact, by the way, that those roads last much more longer than the traditional, because they are more water repelling.
Yes.
So the water doesn't seep in and damage the road. Right?
So that's the contention.
Yeah. So that's how people have tried, and we have actually done large number of roads have been done in India using that technology. We did not want to do that. So what we have done is we have created a mat wherein it's an interlocking kind of grid, very easy to use it for the construction process. And on top of that, whether somebody wants a concrete road or maybe just want to have a landscaping road, grow grass on top of that, but still the road is motorable. So we have come up with very interesting models like that, wherein that mat actually takes care of any kind of vehicle movement that is happening.
And it's sustainable.
It's completely 100% made out of recycled plastic, polypropylene recycled plastic. And the reason why we chose plastic is we were seeing, the amount of waste and amount of, the problem that we are facing on a daily basis with the plastic. So though there are recycling and upcycling happening, but it has to go to a very massive scale. And what we saw is very less or next to zero is done in road construction technology. And that's where we started doing our research. What have we not tried? Single-use plastic, the bottles, then the industrial waste plastic. We have, hands-on, in our go down, we had to We have tried a lot of things, and that's where we came up to the conclusion that not each and every grade of plastic is good for the road construction.
So you've done that hard work.
Yes.
So you just didn't want to start out something and say, oh, we've done this too, but a lot of work has gone into it.
A lot of work, and that's where, and that's where we always say, see, people wouldn't understand and look into us as a product company, but we are a very hardcore product company. We are an innovation-led company. We don't like to do things in a very traditional way.
Yeah, just fix and go.
Yeah, it
right?
has
and
to.
Therefore, your product has warranty.
It has our warranty, right? When we fix pothole, we give a warranty of one complete cycle, like a complete monsoon cycle. When we make roads, we give a warranty of 5 years. That if, let's say, anything happens, we are there to, assist you with whatever happens. So that's the kind of belief that we have in what we have brought to the public and for the country. And because of that only, we are getting interest not only from India, but people from Africa, Southeast Asia. People have been approaching us saying that we want your technology over here. We have a lot of waste.
Okay.
And we are developing, and we will create more waste. So how can we be responsible right from the beginning?
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize as you fix a pothole, your people get to work on time. Because they don't.
Oh, yeah. I was actually sitting in a conference, I remember, and then people said, you have done such a phenomenal office. What not you have inside? You have a swimming pool, you have a pool table, gym. So you're doing everything for your employees while they're inside. But the struggle is how they reach.
Yeah.
Do they have good roads while they are, traveling? Do they have proper footpath outside your premises? And there is a study, I'm not really remembering which study was that, but it's a study which is done which has showed that the amount of harassment that people have to go through while they are reaching the office, it actually impacts the productivity.
No, I agree with you. I can add to this. If you have good footpaths, if you have roads free of potholes, you have great signals, managing traffic intelligently, it adds at least 300 basis points to the economy. That's GDP will grow by 300 basis points. And also the taxes paid to the government will increase.
Yeah.
But instead, I'm glad you brought this up. So you're not a company that will do quick fixes. We are here, like you said, we guarantee the road. We ensure that people get to work on time. That's a great
and not only that, Vishal, while we were on this journey, if somebody asks us that 8 years back, did you really imagine that one day you'll also be making a road? The answer is big no. It has evolved over a period of time. At that point of time, we never imagined that we will also make a model road. In fact, in Bangalore, what we have done is we have created almost a 2 kilometer of model road. And when I say model road, anything that you want to imagine in a good quality road.
Where is this? If people want to check it out.
So this is in Pina industrial area, right where ABB ISRO factory is there. So you will see good footpath, completely barricaded. So what we see is
you've done the footpath yourself.
Yes, we have done the entire drainage system. We have ensured that to avoid digging in future by OFC cable or let's say a cable, any kind of cable.
Yeah, there's a big underground there, man. A lot of people, once the road is laid in Bangalore, it's always dug up. I mean, same with every city in India.
So what we have done is, we have created a separate service trench for that. So if let's say we want to put a wire, pull up the lid, put the wire, and you do the work. So you don't have to damage the road.
Wow.
So we have done futuristic design, and that's where all the smart city that is coming up, they will have all this futuristic design.
So that's the value-added business.
Yes.
And that's where private companies, private complexes, private townships. That's one business model.
Yeah.
Obviously, government is also part of the business. You may want to work with them. They may call you. In fact, the Coimbatore example that you raised was a government project.
Yeah. So over there, a very young, energetic, IS officer, Mr. Sunkara, he called up saying that, I really want you guys to come over here and solve the pothole issues. First, pothole issues in my city, and second, I want you to take up a stretch and you install your grid mat road over there. And I was surprised, first of all, that, I was surprised and happy as well. Immediately, I sent my team over there. We did a pilot. We got a work order from the government. We got paid on time. I really, respect that. Though, it's very hard to see.
Yeah, I know,
but I think, there are ways how we can work. And once we create a model, because, see, if you want to come and suddenly say, I'm going to disrupt everything.
That's when you make enemies, right?
Yeah, and you have to understand that while we are solving a civic problem, right, we have to do work in collaboration. We have to understand the pain that they have, and we have to see how we can add value with the technology that we are bringing. We can't say that you stop everything and you start implementing. It can't happen. Because whatever risk, in whatever capacity we do, as whichever organization is working in the country, you don't have that level of risk what government has. Government is accountable for the entire country, each and every citizen. So if let's say something new comes up, they need entire validation.
So you said we should cut them some slack. That's in fact progressive.
Yeah. And the thing is, of late, the government has been quite accepting. They also know the challenges. We keep interacting with a lot of IS officers. There are Startup India, as you know, the platform that has been launched. They take feedback from startups, saying that we know that there are some roadblocks. Like for example, I'll tell you one thing. In the tender process, there are a lot of checklists that a company has to go through. That you have to be 100 crore company. You have to have so much of bank balance and all. A startup coming with a very progressive mindset and idea solution, they say, हमारे पास कुछ भी नहीं है. So government realized that, and what they have done is, they have cut all these things from there. That in order to participate in tender, you can be a new startup and you can still participate. So you see things are actually getting there. Of course, it has to get a lot better, but we have to see the positives out of it, right? That at least we are there.
No, it's good. So now, would you call yourself a stack? Because you've done that model road in Bangalore, will that be your business for the next 3-4 years, where you'll fix the drains, where you'll fix the not just fix potholes, but everything else around it?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said there's separate service lines for the drains, separate service lines for the electricity.
Yeah.
That's the way forward. Most of the cities in India are old. How will you fix them? Is it possible?
It is possible.
Say, for example, let's take Majestic, an area in Bangalore, old Bangalore, like Cottonpet, Akkipet, old areas.
Yeah.
Do you think you can transform them? Is it possible?
It can be done.
Can be done?
Yes, it can be done. And what we have seen out of, because I'll tell you honestly, when we started the project in Penia, right, the question that was raised from our CSR partner, ABB, they said, people are going to oppose because we are going to, be in that construction mode. Yes. It's a very busy industrial area. But surprisingly, what happened was, whatever we were doing, we had not just 100%, we actually had 2% support. Why I'm saying 200%? 100% support came from the common man, common public who are using that. They understood that what we are building is going to, transform their life for the coming 10 years.
Change the area also.
Yeah. But the companies who are also nearby, they came out in, big numbers. One company, suddenly, we were doing a road and we saw they have painted that entire wall outside. And I was there, I was like, okay, this looks different. He said, sir, you're doing so much. Why can't I do small little thing? Because this will not only make my employees proud, but people over there will see, this side it's completely fine, but this side has looked bad.
Yes.
So he said, I want to also contribute.
No, this is interesting. I think a stack-based approach is the future.
Yeah.
But you both as founders, Pratap and you, how did you transform yourself from fighter pilot, and you're an engineer in the electronics side, getting into the civil side and, raising money? On one level, you have to raise money from HNIs for the trust, right? That's the CSR type. Then you have the private level. You're bootstrapped, you haven't gone to VCs. Yes. I understand that. How do you convince private individuals to invest in these projects? And then build a technology stack on it, and obviously 8 years would have gone like this.
Yes,
in a snap.
It does.
So how did you learn finance? How did you learn to make sure that you don't give up on this? Because I hope your parents now would say there's something happening here. At least.
At least they're, somewhat happy when they see that, okay, you are also giving employment to at least 15 people in your company. So something you're doing good only in your life.
Okay.
But
you haven't gone to the hometown yet, no, Ranchi?
So Jamshedpur is very close to Ranchi.
Okay. So they should come check that out.
Yeah, so they have actually. So when we did in Jamshedpur, a lot of media coverage happened, and I get to know this from my friends saying that whenever you are there in a news channel, we will get a call saying that Sourabh is coming in that channel.
Dad, mom call. Yeah. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So what are the difficulties? Learning finance, learning to raise money, moving away from the engineering piece. I first saw you guys in my previous company. I was at a public forum, and everyone thought, oh, this is an NGO, nothing else, right? They brushed it off. But it's great to know that you're a private limited company gunning towards 100 crores.
Yeah. So see, for me personally, what happened was the first day of my, when I left HP and I was here, I was like, I have to make a sales call. And I have never called anybody random. And this is, let's say, a company's head of one vertical. And then I have to call and say, what, I'm calling from so-and-so organization and we are into this, and would you mind giving me an appointment? It was a nightmare for me, Vishal. It was a complete nightmare. I had zero understanding, no training whatsoever. How do you call people randomly? Right? And then I'm like, okay, I completely messed it up, by the way. First call was a mess. And I was like...
You just said PotholeRaja, what the hell is that?
You know, when when I called and I said that, I'm calling from PotholeRaja and we do this. In my head, I sounded like a HDFC credit card guy.
Oh,
Wherein you listen and you cut the call saying that I'm not interested. I had the same thing.
So that must have that's humiliation, but also made you humble.
Yeah, it actually made me learn. So one of the advantages that I had was an experienced guy like Pratap with me, right? So he also made me learn a lot of stuff that, let's say, and when you call, what are the things that he's been doing because of his experience. And I was a young gun out of college doing coding, and then said, oh, hey, this is who.
And everyone listened. Didn't happen.
Didn't happen. And I was like, okay, this is very embarrassing, man, and I don't know how to do it.
How many calls then you perfected yourself?
I think I took almost, if I have to say perfected myself, it has taken over 2 to 3 years.
That's good to know that it takes time.
Yeah, but it's a journey, right? You have to understand that sales, calling people in a business conference, suddenly, everybody has an eye on you. It does not happen overnight. It's a process.
So it's okay to go through that process. So if you tell young people it's okay to get humiliated, it's okay to make mistakes, you will learn. Just stick at it.
I will say that as much as you can get humiliated, please. Yeah. Because, that's where you learn that all the egos and all those things that, I have studied from this prestigious institute, I know how to speak in proper English and all those things. But while you are selling things,
you'll falter.
Everything, you will fumble. I have seen graduates from, institutes like IIMs, IITs, stammering.
Yeah, I know.
And it is not that they're not good at it. It's just the pressure that, okay, I was in a virtual environment and suddenly I'm out there. I have to actually sell a product.
These are real people.
Real people who will take a call saying that, sorry, I'm not interested.
Great. Sourabh, thank you for sharing that personal experience that you have to be humiliated to get better and better. But I also want to know a couple of things from you on the next 18 months for PotholeRaja. I'm glad you earlier called it out saying that you want to get full stack, you can fix trains, you can fix roads, you want to build model townships that can get people to work on time, and therefore we add to the economy, and the government benefits, everybody benefits in that process. To get there, what does the next 18 month sound like, or 2 years or 3 years? Where do you want to be?
So currently we're working on making GridMat as a very big model of construction of road.
It's called the GridMat.
It's called the GridMat, yeah. So last year
That's the platform?
That's a product.
Okay.
So GridMat as a product will have multiple products in line. So connected to the recycled plastic, what we are going to launch in the couple of months is also India's first road buying platform. I know it sounds crazy.
I go buy a road, is it as I want to fix it?
Yeah, so you can actually buy roads from us.
Okay.
So the thing is, it's like interlocking blocks. It's also made out of recycled plastic. And I'll tell you the use cases. For example, you want to organize an event, and all you do is get a empty piece of land. But you don't want your visitors to come and let's say it rains, or if the ground will be uneven. So you want to create a flat platform wherein people can come around, stand and don't really fall and all those things. You can want to create a temporary parking spaces for, let's say, a VIP guest, or maybe not. I mean, every guest will be VIP.
That's
so like that.
Be fantastic.
Yeah. So you can just buy, and you can buy from us for only 1 day.
That's interesting. So if I get that industrial exhibition hall in Pena in Bangalore, I can then I can buy that road through you. You would have told the government that you will fix all this also.
So again,
all stakeholders are involved.
All stakeholders are involved, and it depends upon, let's say you will anyways rent it out, right? Yes. So you need a space. So you're paying rent for that, and you need a proper, all this.
Yeah, I want everything to be set. I want people to come to that place.
Right. So you can, tell us that we want your road, but I would need only for 1 day. Well, my team will come set it up. After 1 day, we'll take it back.
But look at the beneficiary of that. Huh? The other guys who take the event the next week will benefit from that, right?
They can. So they can also ask us. They send our let's say event is going for 3 more days. Can you just rent it out to us? So we'll rent it out to them.
Ah, wow.
Best thing is, if let's say, again, it's a physical product, right? The damage might happen, but the good thing is it's recycled plastic. I'll take it to my factory, recycle it, and bring the fresh product out of it.
So you can manage all the traffic on that particular day. You can make sure that there's temporary parking.
Yes. So that particular mat that we are creating is capable of carrying 200 tons of load. Now, if I have to tell you what is 200 ton, so a Boeing 747 is around 350 tons. So half of a Boeing 747, you can actually run that on that and nothing will happen.
So that'll be the number of cars that come in also.
It can carry. So static load, running load, it can actually take care of that. So we are launching that in most probably the next 3 to 4 months, it will be live for people. So that is one.
That's almost for a small event. If you talk about 200 tons, you said, right? That could be about 200 cars. Why not?
So
one car is 1 ton, average 1.5. So you can still do it.
So and that also stacked on top of each other. So it's an area, right? So that's only one small little can carry that amount of load. Another use case in mining, wherever mining facilities are there, that complete town is only full of dust. Why? Because heavy vehicles are moving. And because it is moving in a muddy terrain, so the dust is actually rising up. Nobody talks about those. We only talk about Delhi as the pollution over there happening. But there are n number of cities which are struggling with this. Wherever there is a construction happening, this will happen. So they become our customer. They can buy it from us. They can use it because while the construction is happening, while the mining is happening, it's not only point A to point B. Point A to point B is only for 1 month. Then you go from point A to point C. That is no longer in use. But if you construct a full-fledged road, that's a waste of an investment.
Yes.
So they have to dismantle it, they have to put it into landfill. They can use our product, lay it over here, start operating.
Project basis.
Project basis. So you can just take it back, install it somewhere else. Easy to use.
So you've got an urban example with the exhibitions. You've got an example with the mining.
Construction industry. So those will be our major stakeholder over there. And that's a massive market, by the way. It's not a small market to look into.
So that's why you have huge ambitions. I said 100 crores, but you want to be X amount.
I want to add one more zero to that.
One more zero to that soon. So you will get to that soon.
Of course, yeah. And that's the plan. So that is one model. The GridMat that we are currently making a permanent road. That's also catching a lot of eye attention. Developers are behind us saying that we also are looking into that because one, the customer, the buyers are looking at more greener, sustainable periphery. Like they are asking the developers saying that what is that you are doing extra? I mean these brick mortar to sab karte hain. What additional I am getting? How much greenery are you giving? How much sustainable materials are you using? And then the developers are bound to think about that. And they're also starting to think. So the conferences like CREDAI, they have been very open. They're like, we want to know about more sustainable solutions. And that's where platforms, the accelerator that we are also a part of, REAP, the Real Estate Accelerator Program by Brigade. So Nirupa, So started by them and all the startups who are here. Most of us are focused on sustainability based, right? And we are adding value to the real estate ecosystem. So you've become
from a pothole fixer to a sustainable infrastructure company. That's the roadmap?
Yeah, we are into that, but our focus continues to be connected to the road part.
Very good.
Yeah, we also don't want to diversify, a lot. Because if you ask what is there in pipeline...
Sustainable roads.
Sustainable roads, yes.
From potholes to sustainable roads?
Sustainable roads. Okay. Wherein, again, if you see the first tagline that we had, we wanted to fix road within 3 to 5 days of reporting. Then we, had revised that making world pothole free. Now, how do we make world pothole free? One is by fixing them. Second is by making infrastructure wherein potholes don't appear.
Yeah.
Right? So there are two ways of looking into that. So we said, one has to continue because if there are roads, the damages will happen. One is how efficiently. See, even now I'm, stammering.
Go on.
So how, more effective way, I got a new word, to maintain the road. That is one model wherein, I said that now we have tied up with Tata Steel wherein automated machine we have, brought in and that is, fixing potholes, tracking is happening. Second way is how do you make roads which are lasting much more longer? Because the concept is, if let's say a road had to be redone after every 10 years, if we are delaying by 15 years, by 5 more years, you're actually saving a lot of money.
Yeah, the government gets more money also in the process. Again, same concept.
15 years,
instead of 10 years, people get to work for 15 years
on time. And then, you are actually indirectly saving, adding value to the economy.
You can add many things. Tourism. People go safely. There are no deaths. I think India averages 150 per 1,000 accident, 150 per million or something.
Currently,
let me get those numbers later. But there is a lot of accidents.
In fact, one of the data that says is we are globally ranking 1 in the number of road accidents all put together. The government data says that around 4,500 to 5,000 deaths happen because of pothole directly. there is a direct, there is an indirect impact. Indirect is when you were avoiding pothole and you fell, and because of that death happened. That comes into different data. But the thing is, it is also connected to pothole.
So nobody really reports this. There's so many people I've seen fall on the road, and nobody reports that.
Yeah,
there people help you, and then you survived. You have some water and go home. But you've broken your leg or nose or something like that.
So the thing is, it doesn't go to the hospital. It doesn't go to the nearest police station.
It may be higher.
Yeah, it is high. So, in 20...
So, the reported cases are deaths and real accident, proper life-damaging accidents.
It's actually much more. So, the whatever data that we have, you just have to multiply it by 10. So, the actual number will be very close to 40,000 to 50,000 people dying because of pothole accidents.
Wow.
It is not 4.5.
That's scary.
And as you said, because a lot of these things are not reported, nobody even knows about it. And that's where we have to build better infrastructure and systems.
No, that's great. And I hope you get to that 1,000 crores soon. And 1,000 crores, then we'll add another zero to that soon. That'll be even better. But you're bootstrapped.
Yeah,
do you want to remain bootstrapped for a while?
For a while, yes. But while we are growing at a very rapid pace, we will definitely need some support from, impact investors, people who understand our business model. And that's where I think the real growth will happen, because we want to continue to be in the space wherein we use more and more waste material that is around us in creating sustainable cities and infrastructure.
Okay. I'm glad you called it out early that you don't fix manholes.
Oh, yeah.
And it's true, but it can be part of it now.
It can be a part of it. With GridMat, actually, we are... another interesting thing. While we are in this, we get calls from a lot of real estate developers saying that, hey, you know what? We also have a lot of this, cover slabs, which are very heavy. So we have to have crane. We have to have at least 4 people coming in, because that is so heavy that we have to lift it safely and we have to do maintenance. Now we have read about your mat and you've also done some cover slabs. Can you modify that and design it in such a way that it weighs much more lesser, so that it's convenience for our workmen, as you touched upon in the first place. In India, the labor dignity is a very big challenge. We're hardly bothered about how they're living their lives.
Yes.
Are they really safe in the work environment? And what happens after the project is over? So at least people are very conscious, saying that I don't want my people to actually suffer, because if that falls on somebody's leg, it's gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's where, they are coming to us saying that now I want you to do some R&D and see if you can make some better product. Right?
No, I'm happy that you're doing all this with only 15 people, and kudos to those 15 people. You'll be obviously hiring as you grow.
Yeah.
So you're a social impact company.
Yes.
For profit.
For profit.
That's fantastic. But they also have a trust. That's another thing.
Yeah, we have.
For those of you who are interested in the more of the CSR kind of thing, can be part of it. Okay, we've almost come to the end of time, but I want to ask you, what are you reading? What inspires you? Does Pratap, how do Pratap and you inspire each other? That's one thing. So what are some of the things that keep that relationship strong?
I think one of the things that keep both of us very motivated is when we also joined, right? I mean, when I actually joined him, it's the impact creating wala mindset that we want to do something which is larger than life. So when we leave this world, how are people going to remember us? How are people going to remember the company that, we had put in front of the, the crowd? So that is something that continues to drive both of us. And one of the things, I think a lot of learning from him as well. He is completely into as close to as you can to, to closer to the nature, because nature is the best teacher, right? And connected to that is the GridMat ka design. Why we have chosen honeycomb design? Honeycomb is one of the world's most toughest design.
Yes.
Where do we see? Honeybee.
Yes.
You make it out of paper, you can actually park your car. Mm-hmm. That's not the strength of the paper, but the design. So we get inspired from that as well. We do a lot of we had gone for a high altitude trekking together. So we do spend a lot of time in, knowing, and 8 years is not a small time at all. Along with that, as you said, reading books, listening to podcasts nowadays, thanks to you that,
Thank you.
that a lot of interesting people also have come to your show. Keep, listening to a lot of podcasts.
I'm glad to inspire, but you're inspiring, man. Now I'm thinking that, how do I think stacks? And I mean, I hope you and Pratap can come down one day.
Sure.
And talk more about being connected to nature. That's something that I want to hear. You're a design company. That's an entire different podcast story. Yeah. And we'll cover that separately. Any book recommendations?
I would definitely recommend a book called Dare to Dream. Dare to Lead.
Dare
Dare
to
to Lead
Lead,
is
okay.
from Brené Brown.
Okay.
Now, why I love books and podcasts from Brené Brown is she talks about vulnerability in leadership. See, when we grow as a leader, right, and we were running a company, people say that, you're a strong man, you can't show your emotions. And that's how people are wired, specifically with men. Showing our emotions is so tough. Even now, I'm not saying that I've mastered it. I'm far away from mastering. But that book has literally taught about if you are also leading an organization, you can always show your vulnerable side to your employees. If let's say you are struggling with something, it's not mandatory to tell them that no, I have everything in control. It's okay to say I don't have anything in control, because then they will also realize that he is among like us only. Yes, he is a more, in terms of risk taking and all, I can always go back to, but he also has emotions, he also understands, he also feels, if let's say there is a project that we are aspiring to get and suddenly it's gone.
Yeah.
You can't say, I'm not feeling bad. We just lost a project. It was a almost 4 to 5 crore project.
So
Go on.
You have to tell them. You have to be
I have to tell them saying that no, it's not that I'm not feeling bad about it. Yes, I am, but we have to work that how do we,
get back
else. To maybe stronger, add one more zero, as I said, as you were saying. But yeah, that's true, and that's what I learned when I heard her podcast for the first time. Then I got the book, read the book. I was like, man, this is phenomenal. And she worked with the Marines of US, saying that Marines are like in armed forces, tough guys. I mean, you can't show it's.
Pratap's a tough guy. He's a fighter.
He's a tough guy, yeah.
But doesn't he show his emotions?
He is, he has a poker face.
That's what I'm saying. So, but yes, entrepreneurship is about telling a story, and I'm glad. When I first met you guys, I thought, oh, this is an NGO kind of thing concept. But now, 8 years, man, it's been 8 years since I've seen you guys. I feel happy you're in this podcast, and I want you to add more zeros to your company. And you were on that 100 crore. I hope you get to 1,000. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Vishal.
Thank you. We'll do another one soon.
Very